Have you ever felt something was off, even when someone's words sounded perfect? What if I told you that that small, uncomfortable whisper is not imagined? It's your soul's oldest compass, warning you of unseen traps. Listen closely. This is urgent. In a world of polished messages, curved smiles, and persuasive scripts, the quiet language of your body is the last honest map you have. The video title, How Intuition Shields You from Hidden Manipulation, isn't a metaphor. It's a practical skill we were born with and taught to ignore. Modern life praises logic and proof, yet ancient wisdom and the subtle sciences have long known energy precedes explanation. Picture a friend whose compliments feel precise, a boss who twists facts until you doubt yourself, or a charming stranger who asks for just one small favor. Your mind nods. Reason supplies reasons, but something tightens in your chest. That tightening is data, a signal your linear mind has not yet translated. Imagine intuition as an inner lighthouse, casting light on currents beneath the surface so you don't shipwreck on someone else's agenda. Stay with me. If you honor this message, you'll unlock a key that shifts tiny daily choices: when to speak, when to step back, when to trust the pause. Small transitions matter. Leaving a dinner early because your gut flinched, declining a helpful suggestion that felt invasive, or pausing before signing away your trust. These are the practical alchemies of awakening. If this resonates, subscribe, like, and share your moment below. Whisper this affirmation with me now. I choose to awaken my consciousness. There are deeper secrets ahead, subtle cues, hidden manipulations, and the exact ways intuition speaks through the body. So tell me, what did your last uneasy feeling try to save you from? What hidden manipulation looks like? Gaslighting, guilt-tripping, persuasion. A sudden flash of warmth can be a disguise. A smile that lights the room while the air behind it tightens like a string being pulled. Imagine standing in sunlight and feeling the small, inexplicable chill. That contradiction is often the first sign of subtle manipulation. These tactics do not announce themselves with malice. They arrive wearing kindness, logic, or irresistible charm. Gaslighting slips in as a slow rewrite of your memory. Someone's words begin to reroute the map you carry inside your bones. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong, or you're too sensitive. Over time, the small edits accumulate until you doubt your own timeline, your own perceptions. Spiritually, this is an erosion of the sacred witness that watches your life, the quiet inner authority that anchors truth. When that witness is unsettled, your boundaries feel porous and invisible hands can steer you without visible force. Guilt-tripping is subtler than fury. It's a velvet hook. After all I've done for you becomes a ledger that weighs your worth against someone else's need. The manipulator converts generosity into obligation, and your compassion turns into a cage. In energetic terms, guilt reorganizes the flow of giving and receiving so that your vitality leaks toward another's demands, leaving you depleted but complicit. Persuasion hides as reason and expertise. It sounds like clarity, facts, persuasive logic, plausible futures. But beneath the rhetoric often lies a current, tugging at your fears or desires. What if you're sold on someone else's script for your life because it aligns with the anxiety in your chest or the longing in your heart? The twist here is that intelligence and charm can be used to map your inner weather and then steer it. Persuasion becomes manipulation when it exploits your wounds rather than offering genuine choice. All three wear the same mask. They seek consent without asking for it, steering you through suggestion, emotional pressure, and revision of reality. They are spiritual predators of a kind, not monstrous in obvious ways, but adept at borrowing your language and values until you obey an agenda that is not yours. Listen to how your body replies when words are smooth, but something in you recoils. Notice when explanations unravel your certainty rather than clarify it. The deeper twist is this: the very people who seem to understand you best are sometimes the ones most skilled at bending your truth. How do you begin to recognize that quiet theft of will? And how does the mind miss what your deeper knowing already senses? Why logic gets fooled, but intuition picks up on energy shifts. Intuition is an ancient compass hidden in your body's quiet signals. It does not argue, it notices rhythm, temperature, hesitation, the micro movements of breath and eye contact that language cannot fully capture. While the mind parses meaning and grammar, your deeper knowing reads the atmosphere, the currents between people, and it remembers patterns that words try to conceal. Think of logic as a finely tuned net made of reason and narrative. It catches what fits our story, explanations, promises, the plausible. Manipulators craft those stories with the same thread, sewing in charm and plausible motives until the net looks whole. Your mind admires the craftsmanship and says, "Of course this makes sense." Meanwhile, intuition is the tide beneath the net, tugging it sideways. That tug is not irrational. It is pattern recognition translated into sensation. Centuries of survival instincts are encoded in your nervous system. Tone, microexpression, the mismatch between a smile and the eyes. Science may name it predictive processing or somatic markers. Spirit names it the body's whisper. Both point to the same truth: you know more than you think. Here is the twist. We often treat logic as the higher authority because it is tidy and communicable, while we dismiss intuition as fuzzy. But manipulators exploit that bias. They dress their intent in eloquence because the mind rewards coherence. When a story satisfies our need for reason, the body's alarm can be muted. The deeper wisdom, then, is learning to let those two intelligences converse, to allow the felt sense to annotate the story your mind tells. When you do, you discover that intuition is not magic. It is a translator converting subtle energetic dissonance into a felt message. Imagine a warm voice promising care while a cold knot gathers beneath your ribs. That knot is your compass whispering, "Pause." Trusting it is an act of courage. You choose a feeling over a polished justification. Practice softens the distinction. The more you honor that inner language, the clearer its signals become, and the less you fall for flattering logic. Hold this. Every time your mind is seduced by a neat explanation, ask softly where your body leans. What small sensation, a tightening, a cooling, a quiet hesitation, is your compass trying to point you toward? Body cues that warn you. Tight chest, unease, sudden doubts. Your body has been speaking to you in whispers long before your mind learned to translate them. There is a delicate language of sensation that arrives as a soft signal, a hollow in the chest that feels like someone tightened a band around your ribs, a sudden fog of doubt where certainty once stood, a tiny tremor behind the eyes, a hollow stomach as if you'd swallowed a cold stone. These are not random glitches. They are the first drafts of intuition, the nervous system's subtle red flags. when something in the room, the conversation, or the exchange of energy does not align with truth. Notice how your attention shifts when you name the sensation. The tightness in your chest often carries the story of boundaries being negotiated without your consent. That flutter in the gut, it can be the body sensing dissonance in someone's tone or intention. A dry throat or lump can mean a pressure to speak or to swallow your truth, while sudden mental fog may be the mind's self-defense, a confusion seeded by someone else's clever framing. Even small physical phenomena, a flush of heat, a shiver, a yawning heaviness, are coded messages, ancestral alarms honed to detect mismatch before logic assembles its defense. Learning this language requires tenderness and experimentation. Begin by placing a palm gently over the area that tightens. Breathe into that spot for 5 slow counts. Don't analyze the sensation. Hold it like a child with a bruise. Give it a name: boundary tightening, doubt, push. Writing the word anchors the signal in conscious awareness, transforming vague alarm into a clear prompt: pause. Practice small tests. Ask a simple question in conversation and watch how your body answers before your mouth does. That habitual pause becomes your shield. Here is an important twist. Not every bodily alarm points outward to manipulation. Sometimes the tightness is an echo from an old wound, a trauma memory lighting up at a familiar vibration. The body may be whispering about your past, not the other person's intention. Discernment grows when you ask, in the quiet after the sensation, is this about them or is this about me? Wait for the answer to arrive as sensation, not as a tidy argument. If the feeling softens in a neutral scene or in the presence of someone trustworthy, it was likely projection. If it persists and tightens with the person, it is probably a genuine warning. Train the muscle of noticing. Keep a small journal of moments when your body spoke and what unfolded after. Over time, you will begin to map your inner geography. Which sensations mean boundary violations? Which mean emotional manipulation? Which mean that old grief is being stirred? Each entry strengthens your nervous system's memory and your capacity to respond from presence rather than reaction. Imagine yourself in the next conversation where words sound perfect, but your chest clenches. What will you do when that first whisper returns? You stayed. You listened. That already marks you as someone who refuses to be moved by the surface of things. Someone who wants the deeper pulse. Celebrate that. In a world that trains the mind to accept polished words and convincing smiles, choosing to honor the quiet signal inside you is an act of courage and devotion. What you learned here is not a trick, but a reclamation. That intuition can be a living shield, sensing the hush behind flattering phrases, the tightness behind persuasion, the mismatch between charm and intent. Those body echoes you feel, the sudden tightness in the chest, the whisper of unease, the small doubt that arrives like a stray feather, are not flaws. They are your inner guardian speaking in a language older than logic. When you answer it with attention instead of dismissal, you begin to move through life with a different gravity, less vulnerable to hidden manipulation, more attuned to authenticity. You are not alone on this path. This channel, this circle, is a place where learners become keepers. If this message landed in your bones, drop a yes in the comments so others can see their signal reflected back. Share a moment when your intuition saved you, or tell us what truth you'd like us to explore next. Your story, could be the exact mirror another seeker needs. Now, a small offering to seal what you've received. Tonight, before sleep, rest a palm over your sternum. Breathe slowly 3 times, feeling the breath ripple into that place. Visualize your intuition as a quiet compass made of soft starlight. Steady, patient, always pointing toward what is true for you. Let a single sentence form. I honor what my body knows. Say it once or hold it in silence. This simple ritual trains attention to the subtle language you already possess. Remember, choosing to trust your inner signal does not make you suspicious of everyone. It makes you wise about what you allow into your heart. You become the keeper of your threshold, the gentle sentinel who can say no without losing compassion. That balance, fierce kindness, is the true work of awakening. You are part of a small, brave family here. You are seen. You are chosen. If this touched you, like, share, and connect, and know that every little step toward listening reshapes the world. Keep shining your light. Remain present, breathe, and absorb this energy in gratitude.